Greetings and salutations. Yet again, Earthlings. So, it is, hello, Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. It's 1:50 in the afternoon. And I am puttering around. Had my coffee, switched over to non-caffeinated tea. I'm trying to get better at what I'm putting in my body. Best I can, given the circumstances and things. So anyway, flowing in my day and listening to my stuff as I do, because I don't watch TV, and I go through my moods of wanting to listen to the radio, or if I'm going to flow the interesting threads of like scientific discoveries or archaeological things that's being discovered, or whatever fascinating thing I'm drawn to, or if I'm being led to my interesting, fascinating, energetic, weirdo friends, light workers, because they have their own light workers on YouTube, have their own energies that I am drawn to, and they're usually some highly intelligent cuckoo birds, very open-minded yet very quick to, hey, no, that don't settle with the way I'm feeling or seeing things. So no, respectfully, cool dude. Yeah, quick with AC/DC, able to, it's an energetic thing. So anyway, so some days I'm drawn to just listen to the readings, have it on in the background, just for their company. And then as they're flowing in their moments, while they're doing their thing, working in their energies and trying to convey the messages that they're getting, I'm flowing in my moments in the same energies, because they are the ones that I tend to be drawn to, are the ones that are co-creating a better outcome. They are seeking the wisdoms in the moments for us to grow from them and be able to calm down, think about what's going on in our moments in this great becoming, knowing that we are spiritual beings on that energetic highway of foreverness, flowing through that eye of that needle, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so anyway, reel it back into the being on my, okay, so as I was listening, I have been reminded of Medusa. It's like, what in the world? The year of the snake. The year of the snake, what is it the ancestors taught us with their tales, their lores? Get that lore? Play on words. Lore, to tell a tale. Lure, Lure, to lure you in. Ooh, a good story will lure you in, won't it? Draw you right in. Get you distracted. Next thing you know, you hooked. I need to know. Like Stephen King. Oh, he was good at that. Like the Dark Tower series. Y'all, I waited with bated breath, knowing full well he got your nose. I knew full well he wrote that whole thing, start to finish, And he was just waiting for people to get good and agitated, wanting the release of the next book. He already had it written. It was already in the printers. He was just waiting to boost up the sales or something. He just knew how to, his timing was brilliant. And the Dark Towers, the timing of that, if you think about it cyclically, review it now. Go back and read those. The time it was written and what was going on. That was during the time of the Gulf War, y'all. Gulf War. Ronald Reagan, stuff went down. The time that Ronald Reagan was brought into office, everybody was like, an actor. Y'all are gonna really bring in an actor to be president. And yet, wow. They forgot, first and foremost, he was a soldier before he went to Hollywood. Y'all ever stop to think about what it takes for a soldier to come back from seeing the horrors that they had to face and try to put on a normal, happy face for the people that love you and care about you, that you truly love and care about, because that's the whole reason that you were over there facing the things that you had to. Masking things so they don't worry and stress because you love them so much that you want to protect them. Anyway, reel that in. Medusa. I was reminded, okay, this is the year of the snake, and I was reminded, what was it, yesterday? I have to review the date. That movie that Dad took us to see, the drive-in. Oh, I love drive-in movies. Beautiful. Oh, very sad that they please, let's not let those become a thing of the past. They were wonderful. Yeah, drive-ins. Anyway, reel it back in. He took us to see, one of the movies was, or was that might have been a TV special that I watched. But there was, I know that I watched it with him. Wasn't a whole lot of movies and stuff that we would sit and watch together. So when he did that with me anyway, I don't know how my brothers interpret it, but with me, I always knew when Dad, there was a certain energy, there was a certain attitude that he would be in, and you could tell it was different. It's just, you just like, okay, when you are intuitive and you walk in a room and you could tell somebody's been angry, there's been fighting, you can feel it in the air. Kind of like some people can sense when the rain's coming. It's a moisture in the air. They smell snow on the air. They smell rain too. But anyway, touchable, tangible senses, your touch, taste, smell, using your senses. Some people are more tuned into the energies people give off. Nature around us, animals. Read Jean M. All's Earth's Children series, and how the clan read, they couldn't vocalize, so they learned to read body language and what sounds they were capable of making. They utilized those to the best of their capability, but it was mostly reading a person's body language and facial. It was fascinating to me anyway, especially the way that she's just so beautifully painted those pictures in your mind with her words. So beautiful. Anyway, you reel it back in. Medusa. I was reminded that I watched that movie with Dad. Okay, and this is the year of the snakes. This is one of the pings on my intuition. Ah, good girl. That's why I got my dad's nose, because he good girls me. Follow that nose, baby. Anyway, the nose. Reel it back in. Medusa. Man, one of the things we love to do as a family, as a valve release for all the bullcrap going on, that we as a family signed up for in the great beyond. And I know this. We've been doing this a long time, it feels like. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, reel it back in. Alright, so I was reminded of us going fishing there, LTC Bluebird. And my bluebird is my jaybird. Anyway, reel it back in. LTZ Bluebird. Dadgummit, I could tell by the way I was reeling it in. It's a freaking eel. Ooh, I could not stand catching them things. They put up a heck of a fight, but I hated getting them off my line, and I sure didn't want to give up my rig. But dang, I did not want to decapitate them things. They'd have just been still. Most times I could catch them just right and be quick about it before they... If you got them to where they couldn't really see you coming, if you went from below and around so they couldn't, anyway, then you could get it out quick. But if you, depending on where you were at with the pliers, trying to, if they saw you coming, they were up the, damn it. How much do I want to fight them? We got enough line, we got more hooks. I mean, dang, how long's it been? It's been a couple days. Well, how many fish I caught? It's took quite a beating. I can go ahead and cut it loose, let him go. Or, damn it, I just fixed that. Off with his head. I ain't fighting this shit. Use the rest of it as bait. Anyway, anyway, so, terrible. But anyway, I'm reminded of yesterday, one of the things, it was yesterday, I do believe, I was reminded of something very interesting about eels. Did you know, from what I gathered from that, I need to research it, and note to self. This is my note to self to review this because it hit my intuition. I need to check it. They have a mating season, and they go to a certain area, I think somewhere around the Bermuda Triangle, if I'm not wrong, but it was North Pole. North, I don't know. It's a certain place that they go, and somehow, some way they reproduce, but they don't have productive organs. I have to double check that. I don't know. I never. So I'm not saying they're aliens, but I ain't saying they ain't aliens. I'm just saying, how is that possible? And where do they go? And if they're in captivity, from what I understand, they just magnetically, like in a hypnotic trance, will float as if they're trying to swim to that direction until mating season's over. Do they reproduce in captivity? I have to check into that. Are they capable of reproducing just by being in that hypnotic trance, swimming in that direction? Do they have to be in that particular spot to reproduce? Anyway, reel it back in. So I'm trying to listen to stuff, and I'm doing my weirdo me thing on the daily. Hanging with the ancestors and praying and meditating anyway. And I get hit on my intuition yet again about Medusa, the heads of the, and the fact that her hair is snakes. That's weird. And they always refer to when stuff goes bad, cutting off the heads of the snakes. You got to cut the heads of the snakes off to get to the root of evil. Alright, so Medusa. What's the story about Medusa? Well, Medusa, she was a beautiful, beautiful woman that was done wrong after she was horribly abused and made to look as if it was her fault when it wasn't her fault. So she wasn't bad until she was backed into them corners and made to where she had to be hardened and be seen as ugly to protect herself from the ones that hurt her so horribly that she was made to be seen as a horrible creature. So it's like, okay, if I have to be horrible, then I'm really going to be horrible. Turn you to stone? Well, you shouldn't have bothered me. You shouldn't have trespassed on me. What are you seeking? You're seeking Medusa? Okay. And the thing about Medusa was when men saw her, they turned to stone. And yet, how could they protect themselves from that? Alright, well, you have to come in the daytime so you can see where she's at. Well, she was a creature of darkness from what I understood. She protected herself by being in the darkness. And the thing about eels is there's the electric eels. How weird is that? They create their own light, their own luminescence from within. Can you imagine that? Okay, as a natural weapon for like Medusa, never thought of it that way, until that intuitive hit. Them snakes on her head, it's her crown chakra. Shh. Snakes are like waves. The waves. The thoughts that come off. The ideas. Was it really snakes or was it the projections of those thoughts and energies? Those thought waves. That's why you're looking at her. Those snakes are... She's being a snake charmer with those snakes and those energies. Because like a moth to a flame, hypnotic by them. Snakes on her head like them eels. Think about it. If you're in the dark at the bottom of a sea where them eels live, and your eyes, like ours humans, your eyes adjust to that darkness and all of a sudden they light up, you got a night blindness and they have an advantage over you. They saw you coming. Had your number far off. You didn't see them. Heat signatures and things like that, especially in shallows. depths. There's a difference. Anyway, yeah, Medusa. And then thing about a snake, usually the cure's in the venom. That's the thing about that movie, that guy that turned into a snake. He was subjected so much to the snake venom, somehow, some way he turned into a snake, kind of like the fly. Oh, love, love, love. That weirdo. Brilliant, man. Brilliant, brilliant. Anyway, reel it back in. I don't want to go off on a tangent, and I can go off on a tangent of the beautiful threads of connection I can make thinking of that glorious man and his career and his talents and brilliance. And anyway, that nose. Anyway, Medusa, yeah. And the eels making their own luminescence and that weirdness. Them connections of thought. How old writing desk ribbons making those kinds of connections. And it's raining. And I have solutions I need flowed in my touchable, tangible to get my car fixed. Oh, Lord, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Anyway, yeah, note to self, cyclical stuff and that moon energy stuff and the weird eclipses and how all this is supposed to be played out. We're supposed to be reflecting back on 2011. And I've also had some interesting hits on 2008. For some reason, I don't know. And I'm supposed to reflect on each time I've had panic attacks. Those were cues and clues that my body was giving me to prepare me for the upcoming hits I was fixing to take. Those were like bee-boot moments. You need to earmark this moment. You're going to remember, you're going to reflect back on this when you Four Swords later, when you're led to energetically, to review this moment. Four Swords for me is reviewing the moments. Reflect on your progress up to that point. You were given a reprieve to calm down, think about things, reassess, readjust, review. Okay, what happened? Reflect on how did you handle it? How did they respond? Ooh, I hurt them. So if we have to face each other again, I wounded them on the right side and their left, and they're right-handed. So that gives me an advantage. Unless they're ambidextrous, they're going to have to fight left-handed, which does definitely give me an advantage. If you're hand-to-hand combat or fighting with like a sword or whatever, depending on how you're fighting. Anyway, know your audience, know your enemy. And don't let them know you know it. Your chinks in your armor, you gotta fix that. You need to reinforce yourself, re-energize, renew yourself, rebalance yourself, adapt, adjust, overcome, so you have the advantage. Anyway, know yourself and your limitations. Know when you need to step aside. Because sometimes, rather than fighting, the best thing to do is wait till the last second, let them attack, and just step aside. And they go right off that cliff themselves. Because their forward momentum, they were too focused on you to see that you led them right to a cliff. And when they come charging at you, you go Wile E. Coyote, step aside. And off they go. Well, actually, yeah. Wile E. Coyote and that Roadrunner. Anyway. So that's where today's energetic flow is going thus far. As I try to hydrate, stay in my peace, pray, giving it to Father, and knowing that like a bison through a blizzard, just staying in my lane and loving every moment. I'm in exactly the right place at exactly right thing, at exactly the right time, doing exactly the right thing for exactly the right reasons. And it's going to be okay. We're all right. We're okay. We made it to another day. Every moment's a beautiful, beautiful moment. Anyway, I love y'all. I hope you're loving you. I hope your bellies are full. I hope your hearts are full. I hope that you are remembering good things if you are having to review the past. I hope you are learning the lessons from it rather than playing a victim to anything. You're learning and overcoming rather than seeing it as excuses to stay wallowing in the uck. Come on, can we learn from it? Can we love ourselves enough to not want to repeat the uck? No, I want to make myself stronger and wiser from this. Alright, what am I supposed to do? So I'm at the releasing and waiting for answers. Anyway, I love y'all. Hope you're loving you. Can't rain all the time. Anyway. And if it does, well, I like floating around on the river. I'll just be honest with you. I love you. I hope you're loving you.